Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever this video finds you, I hope you're having a rad time. I'm the Figure Dude, and on today's Work in Progress Wednesday, we've got the walking weapon, Josh Alexander. Without further ado, let's talk about some figures. Dude. Welcome back to today's Work in Progress Wednesday. Today, we are making a Josh Alexander, so former Impact World Champion. At the time of recording, he is currently out with an injury. Hopefully, speedy recovery. He is back doing his walking weapon stuff, but I have admittedly not been, I don't watch a lot of Impact, but I keep up with it. I kind of am in the know with what's going on with them. And every now and then I try and catch stuff when I can, but Josh Alexander's been someone that I have kind of piqued my interest in Impact. He is putting on some spectacular matches, and really just, he's not the only guy. I have a few other Impact guys I plan to make, but I want to get him in my collection. There are some Impact figures coming out. I think Deonna Purrazzo, Moose, Jordynne Grace maybe, and then I want to say there's one more guy. I can't remember who exactly, but we got some pictures. We were told they were supposed to be released, and they just kind of disappeared. So Josh Alexander wasn't on that list. I didn't mind going ahead and making him. I do want to make a Moose eventually, but we may or may not be getting an official release. So I wanted to hold off on him. The formula here for Josh Alexander is an interesting one. So what I did was kind of mess around with what singlet torso. It was either going to be this one or the skinnier one that the Jack Swagger Elites have. So I messed around with both, and I really think he's kind of in the middle ground between these two options. But for the figure, I thought that this Ryback torso fit a little better, just because he's bigger than the skinny torso. Maybe not as defined as this one, but I think aesthetically this one's going to look a little bit better. So went with that Ryback torso. The arms are actually from a Carl Anderson basic. So we got a basic with him and Luke Gallows a while ago. I acetoned off the tattoos a while ago as well, and those are the arms that I'm going to be using. So I have decals. I have a bunch of decals for his tattoos. So we've got arm tattoos. He's got leg tattoos. So those are going to be fun to put on. I always have fun with tattoos. And then the design that we're going with is going to be his attire from Slammiversary when he fought Eric Young. Before I get to more of the attire, the legs are from a Bo Dallas figure. The lower legs are from a Stone Cold, or it might have been a Jerry Briscoe. I can't remember. The boots are actually from the Mr. T Ultimate Edition. And now we can get back to the attire. So when he wrestled at Slammiversary, he had on some red shoes. So it is inaccurate in that sense, but I have a bunch of these Ultimate Edition gold shoes from Mr. T, and he has worn, Josh Alexander has worn gold shoes before, so a little bit of creative liberty there. I wanted to use these. I don't really know when else I'm going to be using the short gold shoes, so I figured this was an opportunity, a little bit off from what he actually wore, but it's not something that's going to really bother me. When he wore this attire, it had a bunch of inspiration from old Impact wrestlers, or TNA, whatever. So this is kind of based off Kurt Angle when he was wearing, what am I trying to say? His this is gold pinstripes, but, whatever. I lost the words I was going to talk about. He took inspiration from Kurt Angle for this singlet. I thought it was a really cool one, so that's what I'm going to go ahead with. Gotta paint the head scan, which always add some extra time. Got to get that detail in there. Still, it's something that I have a lot of fun with. So, no more talking. Let's get to it. All right, so getting started, we've got to paint the skin tone, and I'm going to make a separate video for this talking about the different mixes I use, but for the pale skin tone, I always use the same apple barrel paint. I use light mocha, sun-kissed peach, classic caramel, and territorial beige. So when I do a video of that, I will show how much of each I mix, but until then,
we'll stick to the custom we have at hand. So got to paint the I'm going to paint the singlet black, just so there's a little bit less to touch up. And then if anything rubs off while we're doing this, not a huge deal. But I'm going to go ahead, get all the decals applied, and then, like I said, I'll touch it up afterwards. So got to make sure everything is cut well, cut right. It's really easy with Curb Stomp because you know exactly where to put it. I've talked about with 3XR Studio, he also has a decal library you can use, which I use sometimes, but you have to be a little bit more imaginative when you are placing the decals because it doesn't have the exact line. So not for everyone, not something that bothers me. I use it quite often, just how it goes, I guess. But got to make sure I line up everything. I want the lines to be straight and matching on this torso. That's something that always bothers me with Mattel, is when their stuff doesn't line up. So I don't want to follow suit. I want to keep it looking nice and clean. These extra lines I'm going to put on the sides just to kind of fill out the singlet, and they're just like extra pieces you can put in there. But I'm going to place it from top to bottom and then kind of use decal softener and my hair dryer to just kind of cut it once it's placed. So that is a little more difficult with the placement when it comes to just like getting it on the figure, but I like that way because it kind of just like sits a little bit cleaner once I get to it. The tattoos here are obviously huge. They're going to cover his whole arm, so I'm going to give these a very nice coat of decal softener, and I'm going to hit them pretty hard with the hair dryer to get them on the arms. And then I'm going to like really let them sit for a while so that it is nice and in place, and when I'm moving it around, the articulation doesn't mess it up. Then next we just gotta add some like finishing touches with the decals. Gotta throw this maple leaf on, gotta throw the knee pads on, knee pad logos, excuse me. And then we gotta finish the head. So I'm gonna paint the headgear red. I'm going to make the ear part red. The top of it I'm gonna paint black. One of the things with the bald heads is that there's no texture really. So sometimes you have to do a little bit to like kind of liven up those sculpts, but I think there's enough going on here. It's not going to be completely necessary. Like we got the headgear, we've got the beard, we've got the mouth guard. So there is a lot going on here, even though there's no hair on the top of his head. So it's going to work out. Got to go through here with the beard. And it's a little lighter than I was expecting, so I'll go back over before I show the final product, make it a little bit darker. It's a little too light, like a little too reddish here, so gonna fix that. Gonna paint, like I said, the top of this is gonna be black, and then the mouth guard is white for now. I might end up changing it later. He's worn like white, red, and black, I believe, but when I looked up reference pictures, that's just kind of what I ended up with. And then lastly here, I need to add the calf tattoo. Got to put that on his right leg, and then we got to put the small tattoo on his back.
Here we are. Here's my Josh Alexander complete, and I am missing the tattoo on his left hand. So you can see there's a tattoo on his right hand. There's supposed to be a tattoo on his left hand. Apparently when I moved some stuff around on my desk, I lost that hand because I took them out briefly to paint the wrist tape, and I can't find it anywhere. So I will slap that decal on again, but for the sake of just getting the video done, I decided we'd go ahead. There's plenty to see here before I have to go add that tattoo back on. So the boots here, the reference images had like the kind of Eddie Guerrero type flames on the toes. I didn't paint those on. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep the gold. I think I really like the look of the red, but this is kind of what we went with today. So for now, it'll suffice. I did paint over the shoelaces so that they were black on both sides. Got the calf leg tattoo in there, and I know 3XR Studio has talked about this when he does tattoos, but it's kind of hard getting good reference pictures, and I use Curb Stomp's decals. I don't know like how he gets his reference pictures or what exactly he does, but I think this tattoo is supposed to go all the way around. I'm not positive, but looks really good from the front. You can see on the knee pads here, we've got both logos. There's a lot to do in this one, so I did end up Going back, I painted the beard a little bit darker. Painted the lips, and painting lips is kind of new for me. I haven't always done it because when I first started, when I would do it, it just felt like they had lipstick on, like the color wasn't right, but I feel like I'm kind of getting that down. Of course, we've got the maple leaf in the middle of the singlet there. Got the red outline, tattoo on the shoulder. Got that rose on the back. And then we'll look a little closer here at the tattoos on the arms. So admittedly, I feel like I am getting pretty good with these to where it's not really rubbing. Like we can turn here and you can see it's not really coming off. Same on this side. Just overall really happy with it. And again, another fun one. It was challenging. There's a lot to it. Painting the head, painting the torso, swapping parts, but it was fun. So if you like what we're doing here, go ahead and check out some more Work in Progress Wednesdays. Number 50 is coming up, and I'm mulling a couple different options, but I plan to do a very large episode for Work in Progress Wednesday for episode 50, so look forward to that. Other than that, please continue to like, share, subscribe. I always appreciate it. And remember, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy more action figures. Figure Dude out.